You think instincts will save you when the world collapses. You think adrenaline will guide your hands, sharpen your mind, and turn fear into strength. But collapse rewrites the rules. When the grid dies, when lights fade into nothing, when the background hum of civilization disappears, most people don't rise to the occasion. They sink. They stall. They hesitate for 1 second too long. And 1 second is all collapse ever needs. The real danger isn't the dark. It isn't hunger. It isn't even the cold gnawing at the bone. The real danger is the comforting illusion of safety, the belief that everything is still under control. Even as the last pieces of normal life fall apart. This is where that illusion ends. Here are 15 survival rules people always overlook. Rules that decide who endures the first week of collapse, and who fades quietly into the statistics no one will ever read. Rule 1. Silence is your first defense. In a collapsed world, silence becomes the strongest form of camouflage. Sound carries farther when machines go quiet, when traffic stops, when the world holds its breath.
Generators lika beakuns.
Axes crack through the air. Voices bounce across empty streets. Noise becomes a map, a trail, a signal that reveals position, movement, and vulnerability. Survival begins with restraint. Move softly. Close doors slowly. Communicate in gestures before whispers. Avoid repetitive rhythms that echo. In times of collapse, sound travels faster than danger. And danger follows sound. Rule 2. Darkness is an asset, not a threat. Light brings comfort. But comfort invites attention. A candle flicker behind a window becomes a lighthouse for desperate eyes. A flashlight beam cuts through the dark like a blade. A campfire announces warmth, resources, and weakness. Darkness, however, offers anonymity. Block windows. Use low light only when absolutely necessary. Let the eyes adjust instead of reaching for brightness. Seeing without being seen is an advantage civilization makes people forget. Rule 3. Don't defend what you can abandon. Homes anchor the mind. Walls feel familiar. Rooms hold memories. But collapse does not reward sentiment. If staying becomes risky, mobility becomes survival. A backpack can save more lives than a locked door. Distance can protect more effectively than barricades. Abandonment isn't failure. It's adaptation. What matters is not where safety used to be, but where it still exists. Rule 4. Water before warmth. Fire feels essential, but hydration dictates survival. The body can endure cold longer than dehydration. Collapse turns clean water into the rarest commodity. The first hours determine everything. Fill every bottle, jug, pot, tub, and container. Once pressure drops, taps fall silent. Once silence arrives, scarcity begins. Water becomes currency, leverage, and life. Warmth comes later. Rule 5. Cooking smells are a broadcast. In a silent world, scent becomes a signal. The aroma of cooked food can travel hundreds of meters without city noise to cover it. A stew boiling on a stove is a beacon. A warm meal becomes an advertisement of resources. If cooking is unavoidable, use small flames. Choose simple meals. Cook during wind or rain when scents disperse. Prefer cold rations whenever possible. A warm stomach means little if it costs your location. Rule 6. Group size determines risk. A lone survivor lacks coverage. A large group lacks stealth. The optimal number is small. 3 to 5 individuals. Enough to watch, to gather, to rest in shifts. Few enough to move quietly and conserve supplies. Numbers don't guarantee strength. Compatibility does. Reliable hands outweigh many hands. Rule 7. Rotate, don't hoard. People imagine survival as stockpiling mountains of cans. They imagine a fortress of food. But food is perishable, even when sealed. A single spoiled can end more lives than starvation. Supplies must be rotated, checked, inspected. What sits too long becomes a hidden threat. The emergency isn't someday. It begins the moment collapse does. Use what can fail. Store what endures. Rule 8. You need more calories than you think. Survival consumes energy. Not from fear, but from work. Hauling water. Chopping fuel. Maintaining shelter. Traveling long distances. Staying alert, constantly, without the luxury of rest. Daily caloric needs can double or triple. Misjudging intake leads to fatigue first, mistake second, danger third. Food isn't comfort. It's fuel. And collapse requires more fuel than peace. Rule 9. First aid kits without skill are decorations. A bandage means nothing if applied incorrectly. Antiseptic is useless if infection has already spread. Tools don't save lives. Knowledge does. Basic medical skills become non-negotiable. Cleaning wounds properly. Stopping bleeding. Recognizing infection early. Creating splints from scrap material. Monitoring shock. A minor cut becomes catastrophic when hospitals no longer exist. Every injury becomes a battle against time. Preparedness is not equipment, but competence. Rule 10. Guard information like supplies. Collapse shifts priorities. Before food is stolen, knowledge is taken. Where water comes from. Which routes are safest. Where supplies are hidden. What times routines repeat. Loose information becomes a weakness. Details become leverage. Speak vaguely. Reveal nothing unnecessary. Never confirm patterns. In collapse, information is more valuable and more dangerous than possessions. Rule 11. Distance is better than confrontation. Conflict wastes resources. Calories burn. Injuries occur. Noise spreads. Attention follows. Survival rewards avoidance over dominance. If danger is visible, distance is superior to bravery. Moving away prevents escalation. Let others exhaust themselves in conflict while energy is preserved. Victory in survival is not won through fight, but through escape. Rule 12. Cold kills slowly, then suddenly. Hypothermia whispers before it strikes. Shivering leads to confusion. Confusion leads to stillness. Stillness leads to silence. The greatest defense is insulation, not flame. A base layer to move moisture. An insulation layer to trap heat. An outer layer to block wind. Heat should be kept, not created. The body is a furnace. The surroundings must protect its fire. Cold kills not with aggression, but with patience. Rule 13. Never travel the same path twice. Routine becomes vulnerability. Predictability becomes exposure. Anyone observing patterns can predict movement. When water is collected. Which road is chosen. How often patrols repeat. Vary routes. Vary timing. Vary direction. Unpredictability is a shield. Consistency is a trap. Rule 14. Weakness attracts attention. In order, society protects the vulnerable. In collapse, it marks them. Slumped posture. Visible exhaustion. Unsteady steps. Hesitation. These signs attract predators of every kind. Movement must convey intention. Steady. Calm. Focused. Even exhaustion must hide behind composure. Perceived strength prevents conflict, even when real strength is limited. Rule 15. Hope is not a strategy, preparation is. Hope sustains emotion, but strategy sustains life. Plans must exist for every possibility. Staying. Leaving. Moving as a group. Moving alone. Short-term survival. Long-term endurance. Hope helps the heart endure collapse, but preparation ensures the body survives it. Both matter. Only one keeps breath moving in and out of the lungs. A collapse does not judge. It does not care about age, skill, confidence, or belief. It cares only about behavior, decisions, and awareness. Most will cling to routine. Most will assume help is coming. Most will wait just a little too long. Collapses do not arrive suddenly. They fracture quietly, slowly, invisibly, until the moment they don't. Those who remember these rules gain an advantage stronger than strength. Clarity. Not because of exceptional ability, but because of a willingness to see the world as it becomes, not as it used to be. Survival does not reward the loud, the brave, or the bold. It rewards the prepared, the aware, the ones who move with intelligence instead of fear. When the world falls silent, the rules change. These are the rules that remain.